Good morning there, gang. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Morning weather update here on MLive, and we're going to talk two weather systems, one more substantial than the other, and starting to get it fine-tuned a little bit, still not totally honed in. That'll probably happen here in the next 24 to 36 hours. But if you could hit the share button and type a little blurb that says, hey, this is how MLive does a morning weather update. Good morning, Teresa Boley and Jenny Lope. Good morning, Robert Eppinger from Fife Lake and Nancy Lang from Grand Rapids, it looks like. All right, here we go. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to compare. We're going to compare the European model to the GFS model. We're going to compare how each of those models are trending and how they compare to each other. All right, so we're going to start with the European model and the newest run. And we have some light snow for Sunday. I generally call it light snow. There you could see that's an early afternoon Sunday. We'll see light snow across most of lower Michigan. In some places, very light. Okay, so here we go. And that moves through on Sunday. I'm saying that's an inch at most in many spots. And then here's our next storm system, okay? So this is the latest run of the European. I'll give you the update on that. So this would be, let's go back to Monday evening, 7 o'clock. So this is a little bit slower. And then it has been, this is Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock. And what you'd see there is an accumulating snow from Battle Creek, Benton Harbor, St. Joe, Kalamazoo through Jackson, maybe Lansing to Ann Arbor and Detroit. And then you'd see it taper off to nothing as you go to north of Grand Rapids, north of Saginaw. Latest run, okay? So now let's go to the run 12 hours earlier on the European. Remember, the European all along has been north, has had this snow band in the southern half of lower Michigan, and it continues to have that. So it's a little bit, I guess I would call it a little bit slower. This is the old run, and the snow still in the same spot, but a little bit faster, maybe 50 or 100 miles faster. So old run, new run. Now let's jump to the GFS, okay? This is the oldest run. It has a storm system already onto the east. We know one of the problems with the GFS is too fast a movement on storm systems gets magnified as it goes into the future. So let's just back up into Monday evening. And this is one of the older runs, what the GFS looked like. Not much of a storm system. Now the newer run, little bit more put together and a little farther north. So it's trying to come toward what the European says. Maybe they'll meet somewhere in the middle, which means that I would say I-69 southward, we would be looking at some snowfall. So people want to know how much snow. Now, before I show you this, I got to put a disclaimer. Okay, remember, it's Friday morning, 8 a.m. We're talking about snow starting 8 p.m. Monday. So we got Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're still 96 hours away, 3.5 days. So this is going to change, but what I'm showing you is that, it's starting to get a little more solidified. So inch or so this weekend. Now let's go to the European, and it's snowfall off of the storm. We're ending it, we're through it on Tuesday. And there you can see it has a 6-inch swath along the border of Michigan, and then 3 to 6 inches north of that, tapering off to just an inch or so Grand Rapids and not much Saginaw. The old run was a little farther north, a little heavier, so it's trending south still and trending a little bit lighter. I think it's going to wind up to be probably about a 4 to 6 inch snow from I-94 southward. Emphasis on the 4, and you get toward the border, maybe 6. Now this is the GFS, okay? And the newest run of the GFS, oldest run. So the oldest run had very little, and now the newest run has shifted it northward toward the European. So what I'm saying is it's probably an I-94 southward snowstorm, and north of that it's probably a couple of inches of accumulation. We'll keep an eye on it. Remember, 96 hours out still. High temperature is going to be pretty chilly. Today we're in the 20s. So let me make sure you got a good perspective here. Okay, today we are in the 20s. We've got some very wintry weather for the next 7 days, but not extreme. Hey, good morning, Stalwart and James Luke Jr. Driving to Michigan today from Maryland. Should I have any problems? Mary Lemons. All right, let's back up for Mary and just see. Let's see here. Driving to Maryland from Michigan. No major problems. You might get into some lake effect, eastern part of Ohio, but shouldn't be any major problems there. All right, high temperatures today in the 20s, tomorrow mid-20s. Sunday, 27 to 30, and the same deal for Monday, maybe some low 30s in the far southeast. Detroit and Ann Arbor, you have that. Tuesday, back to upper 20s. Wednesday, upper 20s. Thursday, upper 20s to about 30. So the point being is fairly steady winter temperatures on the way. And one last thing to show you. Let's see. Hey, good morning in Waldron, Arkansas. My parents used to live in Arkansas for a few years, and the winters were great there because you'd wake up, it'd be cold, 15, you get a snowstorm or two a year, 15 in the morning, sunshine, 40 in the afternoon. You could even go fishing in the winter. So this is the 8 to 14 day temperature forecast, and that would be valid for January 29th to February 4th. Everything is indicating starting to become a little more mild, warmer than normal. Remember, first week of February, usually about our coldest weather we can have. So when we're talking about warmer than normal, we're talking about probably cracking the freezing mark. Maybe some days with highs of about 32 to 35 as opposed to 12 to 15 or even colder. You know how that goes. So there you have it. There's the morning weather update. Today we have lake effect snow up in the northwest, still winter weather advisory there. Actually along I-75, as you go north of the Grayling area, you'll run into a mess. Then we'll watch for a light snow Sunday, and we'll watch the storm system on Monday. Still continues to trend south on the European, north on the GFS. I think it's probably going to settle into a 4 to 6 inch band of snow centered about the Michigan, Ohio, Indiana border and coming northward up to about I-94 and then tapering off after that as you go northward to Grand Rapids and Saginaw. So snowstorm, yeah, maybe a couple of counties will call it a snowstorm and pretty nasty driving late Monday into Tuesday, but it's not the biggie, certainly. Have yourselves a great weekend. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Thanks for joining me this morning. Take care.